theme.
T1 got the edge in terms of synergy on the Vans over DRX.
Yeah.
And then they go for the first pick Lucian.
And Lucian is married to Senna? I think there's synergy that's still still going.
Still following that. I'm honestly not a huge fan of the Lucian first pick. I kind of prefer the Emilio.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be picked here.
Yeah, you kind of just get matched. So it's going to be like Lucian Nami into Aphelios Milio. I really like the Aphelios Milio side of that. That being said, T1 are a pretty good team at applying pressure with that Lucian Nami. And the Orianna coming out for Faker.
Oh, God.
The Azir. Well, you know what? Can Azir's win rate... I think DRX kind of have to take Vi here. And then T1 probably go Rel. Would make sense. You know, Rel Orianna, really powerful combo. But I think if you leave Vi open, like, how is your Aphelios going to play the game when you're just going to get ulted and blown up? Like, the Vi ult combined with the Orianna ult is going to be pretty devastating.
I kind of like the Rel as well, just given the fact that there isn't a massive amount of range on the side of T1 just yet, but it does, like you say, leave up the Vi.
Yeah. You know, as much as I think Rel is obviously super strong, paired with Orianna, it's really devastating. I think Milio has an easier time peeling Rel because you can interrupt W with your Q, whereas Vi will just press R, and it's like, well, unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Zea's thinking about the Aatrox, and will lock that one in. Owner taking a little bit of extra time, figuring out what he wants to do, and then immediately locks in Vi. So never you mind.
Yeah.
One final pick, as Rascal does have counter into the Aatrox, and Yone being considered. That would be a gauntlet.
This feels like you could just go Cassante, but I feel like he's opting into the duel to the death.
Yeah, he saw that 10 solo kills, and he's like, oh.
No.
Yes. Yeah, sort of.
Jax is okay. The middle ground.
Yeah.
Pull out the middle ground. You know, if Yone's on one side, Cassante's on the other, Jax is somewhere in between.
Yep. Does like to do fighting, even though he doesn't have a real weapon.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with this, and should still be a difficult time for Rascal there towards the top side of the map, but if they do manage to get a topside lead, then that is something that they can play through. Of course, Jax has been known to be able to take games under their control in the past, and you can also teamfight relatively effectively on the champion as well. So relatively well-rounded, not a massive amount of range, but they do have the Aphelios there, and if Calibrum is armed, Sponge can get around and really change that one up. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to jump onto the Rift for game number 1.
수환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
DRX fans, full voices here in LoL Park today. T1, of course, tend to drown everyone else out, but still, you can see relatively even when it comes to the volume. That is great to hear. As Owner and Sponge, very close by, as we have a 5-point defense system. An oldie, but a goodie. Sponge actually going a little bit deeper.
Cheeky ward.
Yeah, like that, like that.
Get that information early.
Finds an Infernal Chain, cut the video, and Gumayusi taking a bit of damage here. Good fire kick, and actually Teddy going forward. A couple more autos and he's dead, and that's first blood for the bottom lane of DRX. That's not even silver lining. That is just great.
Yeah, fantastic. Teddy and Pleta winning out the 2v2, and this is one of the weaknesses of Lucian Nami in the early levels. You don't have the burst to 100-0.
Could have just been a dead Pleta. But didn't want to go too far, as of course Teddy was up and available. And Sponge going to be able to take one of these Void Grubs. Owner going to deal with the remaining 2 by the looks of things. Wants to push him out, but you can see Satab, he's going back, doesn't have teleport. Faker's still here. So that does mean that this is very dangerous for Sponge.
Yeah.
It's just one grub apiece. Kevin, Steve, just both taken away. Bob just by himself.
The big thing with getting the first Void Grub is that... Oh,
okay.
A minute.
Rascal gets a flash out of Zeus here on this top side.
Oh, no.
And Owner is back again. That is going to be a secure. Very nicely done there by Sponge. Collects 2 of them. But yes, what's good about taking the first one? Oh, Satab is... That's not the lane. That's the river. Faker is going to get shuffled, actually. Delivered to Sponge. Flash Dash to come through, but Sponge is immediately flashing after him. Faker could die as well. It's a decent shockwave, but it ain't going to save him. And Satab moves DRX to 2-0.
What a start, honestly. And they're able to find the 2v2. Faker just a bit overconfident there.
To this composition. And if T1 don't start that snowball rolling, things could become difficult. Rascal coming forward as Sponge is here again. Remember, no flash on Zeus. No Umbral Dash either, as there is the Magnet Storm. They didn't even want to invest it, as Leap Strike comes in and the flash has to be used, but Rascal is able to lock down the kill. That was almost a flub, but they nailed it in the end.
Yeah, so well played actually at the end. You know, Rascal goes in for the finishing blow, and Sponge just tanks the tower, makes sure he's the one with aggro. There's still a CS lead for Zeus in this matchup, but really nice gang coming out from Sponge. He's been doing a solid job so far.
Man. Wasn't on my bingo card. There's a lot of things that haven't been on my bingo card over the last couple of days. This is certainly one of them. As Owner is going to lock down the first.
And we see here Rascal just getting out of the tether distance in time to follow up here. Oh.
Yep. Owner is going to go a bit aggressive onto Pleta, but Teddy might have been his target. Now Kerry is going to come on over. Teddy is in so much trouble. There he goes. Faker moving in as well. Flash out from Pleta. Faker moving real quickly thanks to the Aqua Prison. More like freedom here, as T1 will be able to take down Teddy, the prime target here on DRX, and now move towards more plates. And I'm really glad that we got to have that moment where we were talking about DRX and doing some winning around the map. And I don't want to take anything away from DRX and their ability to find a few picks in this early stage. But they're going to need more than that if they want to actually win this, especially now that things have become a little bit more uphill. Sponge coming on over, though, and if they can lock down 5 grubs, that is certainly good news. Owner moving on in here, though.
Oh, no.
And Zeus in position at the same time. Cheeky little smite to deny the mites. And that is enough for T1. It's going to back away, allow 4 to go over to DRX.
Yep. I mean, the big thing is they deny the fifth, they deny the little void bub spawning.
Yep.
But also, the way it works, so as I was saying before, the jungle item gives bonus XP when you clear a camp, but you only get that on void bubs for the first one you killed. Jockeying for position over the river, trying to get control. Oh no, Satab.
Yeah, that's a shockwave, and that is an immediate cease and desist. Satab able to get out of there, though. Doesn't have teleport, and now doesn't have flash. So this Drake should go over to T1. He may not be able to get back in time, and definitely not back into position to try and fight for it. But DRX do have control of the bot side. Oh, Owner was thinking about it, but good work not being in the shot by Satab.
Yeah, we see T1 move bot just to answer the wave, and now kind of feel comfortable to set up for this dragon. Satab, they stalled out the recall. He's not going to be back in time, so likely just see DRX give this one up.
Yep. And so that is going to be 2 dragons. We'll see what soul it's going to be. If it's T1, it's often Clouds. They do have my back there. And Faker is on defense. That's a flash Magnet Storm. Teddy going to flash out of the way of the Tidal Wave. Faker should go down. But they do secure the dragon. And the soul will be Hextech, actually. A lot of power if they are able to lock down the soul. As DRX, they do get the kill. T1 able to offer enough back to deter the aggression.
Yeah, Lock committed there, though, and Teddy and Pleta holding the... that is a scary Aphelios right now.
He is.
Gotta be really careful about that. TP actually coming in here from Zeus, going for the bot lane play.
They really don't want Teddy to do anything. Wow, that's a jump scare if ever I've seen one. But Teddy, not going to be too frightened, just able to walk his way out. That's a flash. Infernal Chains. Not sure about that one.
Not sold on that. And one of the things I was going to say was, like, the Dragon, DRX, only got that one kill. They committed the teleport to make it happen. But Zeus teleport there, not the best. It will secure them that bot lane tower, which is something, but it kind of feels like T1 were looking for a bit more out of that play and didn't really get rewarded with it.
Yeah, Sponge now wants to see whether his blue buff will come back. And Sponge is looking to put a stop to Zeus here, who doesn't have flash. Remember, Magnet Storm comes down, Emperor's Divide, and he's just going to be swept under the rug. Sponge will take a few too many turret shots, but he isn't going to die for it. Now Rascal is chasing after Faker. Shockwave comes in, but doesn't exactly do what he wants. Still slowed down by the dissonance. Rascal will be deterred as Faker gets into that pixel brush. And now, oh, Moonlight Vigil avoided. That was really cute. Pleta still diving in, and that is not really the direction he wants to go. Satab wanting to get over, isn't going to be able to. Good dive here by T1, keeping up that aggression as much as possible. But Rascal's coming in. This is fight after fight after fight here in this mid-game. Rascal not quite finding it. Sponge a little bit late to the party. So they're not able to punish T1 for the dive. Yeah,
some non-stop aggression there, and T1 managed to find the dive. It looked a little bit dicey at points, but the Culling doing a lot of work just to finish out Pleta.
Trying to get to a larger gold advantage. Right now it's really not even evident, as Sponge is going to park the Rift Herald, probably, into this turret. There we go. Look at that. Look at that driving.
We've seen definitely some flubs with the Herald driving.
Yeah, Lucid is taking notes right now, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
That's going to be on the test later. And, for anyone who's keeping count, So we said before the game started that Faker needed 9 kills to get 3,000. So far, he has gotten 0 of those 9, so still 9 to go.
9 to go, yes. Good. I'm glad that we're keeping tabs.
Yeah.
No change. Sponge going to be able to take away a Raptor here. DRX immediately back away towards him. Yeah, Rascal is actually going to, like ships in the night. They do go past each other, but there is a flash counter-strike, and Owner, he's going the wrong direction. Gravitum is going to be picked up by Teddy, and that means that there is no way out. Somehow the kill goes to Pleta, but that is fine. There is no jungler. Teddy gets vision down, spots T1, and still standing his ground here. I don't know about it.
Damage.
Yeah, does have Pleta there in his back pocket. Gumayusi able to offer a lot back. So without Smite, they do have Teleport, and T1 is still wanting to fight for this one. That's a flash over the tidal wave. Shockwave comes through, though, and that's a great double bubble. Zeus able to take down Satab here as the Dragon is still amongst it. It's a double kill for Zeus, who is just a wrecking ball. And they were a man down, but T1 is still making it work. Make that a triple. Oh, no. It's a catastrophe for DRX.
It's all fallen apart, and honestly, it felt like they tried to go for the engage, they tried to go for the turn, they couldn't quite connect onto the right targets, and this Aatrox just kind of slid into the back line and demolished DRX, and now T1 should be able to secure this Dragon. I think DRX need to rush straight, should be able to secure the Baron, and DRX need to rush to the Dragon. If they lose Baron and Dragon here, it's going to really be rough.
Yeah, and you can see Faker teleported to the bottom lane. He knows that this Baron is well and truly T1's. Now going to be able to take it down. Of course, it is on spawn, so it takes a while to kill it. Faker, not quite aware of what's going on here. Will be able to put the ball in if he wants to, but gets the bad news. The Baron is going to be going down. Has to use his flash to avoid that Emperor's Divide. The Sand Soldier starting to get aggressive. There is still a turret here, and Faker has dissonance, so he should be able to get himself out, but
4 seconds.
Yep.
You know where they are.
Or 2 members of said team for 4 seconds. That's where they are.
Yeah.
He's going to now take down the Krugs and now move towards this inner turret. You can see the Baron power play. A modest 2.2k. T1 still wanted to augment that further with the remaining 30 or so seconds. Teddy does have an Infinity Edge now completed. So 3 items, theoretically pseudo 3 items. We include the Blood Song.
You know, and as much as T1 have gotten like a 4,000 gold lead here, which obviously isn't great, they haven't taken any tier 2 structures yet. They didn't get that 3rd dragon, so DRX hold on okay.
Tidal Wave coming in here as Sponge does get knocked up. Great Shockwave onto Satab, who's trying to get himself out of there. Owner also using the ult relatively defensively. They take down the turret, but they're unable to kill any of the members of T1. Oh, man. Rascal in the mid lane should be able to get something back here as he secures a turret of his own. And now immediately teleports in to try and lock down this bottom lane. They get vision of Gumayusi Carrier trying to run away, and Teddy is looking to try and catch up. But Rascal now finds himself singled out. He has the Counter-Strike running, but now Owner is going to turn up. These Hex Gates really working out here as they changed position kind of comedically. And Rascal looking to try and get himself out of there. He does so, but I don't know whether the teleport play really worked, and now he's backing on a ward.
We hit this point, and maybe it will be easier to win, hopefully.
Well, Satab is looking to hit this point, trying to find... well, he does set up a Sun Disc. He gets Acro Prison, though, as Carrier is a long way away from the rest of his teammates.
Yeah.
Can speed himself up, though.
Do you have a name for that, where you, like, shuffle behind someone and just put a turret down? I don't think that's been established yet.
I think that's the Shurima construction.
Yeah.
You had to look at the Shuriman times.
I think part of the problem is that they're structuring these buildings on sand, you know?
Yeah, I've heard of that issue before. Is okay, cease and desist onto Teddy into that backline. He flashes, he does manage to get the ult, but the Shockwave is too strong as Faker 8 kills to go now. Zeus able to take down a double in the backline as well. Sponge going to be taken away also, and DRX, they're left with only Rascal. And T1 are still chasing after them. It should be soul point here for T1. They might also be able to focus on some of these extra turrets to really start putting the nails in. Rascal also just going to get pulled back by those infernal chains, avoids the bubble. Not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe, and that is just 4 for free.
Yep, that was a pretty one-sided fight, and we're kind of seeing part of the issue with letting this Vi go open. Owner did this neat trick where what you do is you target the enemy AD carry.
Yeah.
And you press R.
Oh.
Very effective, very strong strategy.
That was what he did.
Yeah. Not too much you can do in response. Teddy really the initially thing.
Oh, the teleport from Faker as well for the shockwave position as Carrier has to flash. Oh, bubble avoided there by Sponge, but now he's in trouble, taking a lot of damage from Gumayusi. That is a second one here for Faker. As Rascal is getting engaged on here. Zeus, every auto really hurting. Cyrilda's in his back pocket as well. And that is the global red buff secured by T1. Baron back on the table as well. There's a lot of control vision in this area for DRX, but without their jungler, I don't know what they're going to be able to do to try and contest this. Still wanting to, by the looks of things, is Teddy, red, white guns, ready to fight. But, oh, dearie me, he is just going to die. Exhaust was able to be pressed onto Gumayusi there, but he's still able to kill Teddy. So without jungler or AD carry.
Rascal?
Rascal going for it. Gumayusi is somewhat low. The Baron is also somewhat low.
I feel like Rascal is kind of just doing his own thing this entire game.
He's out of there, though. Look at him. He's buying time. Teleporting. Bubble. Dead. It was a cute play. It was a cute plan. Gumayusi able to dash himself out of the way. Good shockwave here from Faker as Sponge crashes down on top of him. But Faker's got the arm guard, and he'll keep himself alive. The fire kick, not really something you're too scared about. And now Zeus is underneath turrets, not too worried about much at all. Wants to find a third Q. There it is. And Pletter is just wondering where the heck damage is. He wants to go back to being an AD carry, I think. But Umbral dash over the base gate. And Zeus is out of there. And now T1 are just going to rain hell down on the rest of DRX. Pletter is...
Leave him alone!
Oh, it's so cruel, isn't it? That's another kill. There's the ace, and T1 will now just destroy these Nexus turrets and take us to a game number 2. But one thing I do want to take away from this is the fact that DRX looked relatively competitive in the early stages until they absolutely didn't.